to Talk Birdie To Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Titleist, they're the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy are the number one shoe and glove in golf. Driving a BMW is like hitting a perfect shot, smooth, controlled and powerful. Ping, they'll help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie To Me.
G'day everybody, this is a feedback podcast. Nick O'Hearn is here, so am I, and Dan has got that much paper and questions in front of him, it is not funny.
Well, we do have a lot of questions. We've also got some comments. So we might do the comments first, just get a few comments out of the way for a bit of fun. Okay. This one comes from a Texas Wolfpacker.
Hey.
David Clark. Mark, greetings from Lubbock.
Hey.
A Red Raider here. Really enjoy listening to the pod. Fabulous job.
Oh, isn't that nice? I wonder what golf club he plays, because you've got Lubbock Country Club and you've got Hillcrest Country Club and you've got the Rawls course, which is the Texas Tech course, and there's a golf course called Lake Ridge. There was another one, remember someone was telling us the other day that, it's like a high roller club someone's got together. I wonder where he plays.
So Red Raider, that's like the
university
the mascot.
Yeah, it's like the Collingwood Magpies. They're the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders.
Yeah.
Okay, right. You still got any old Texas Tech gear?
I've got a Texas Tech hat.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I've also got the booklet they sent out when I went back there one year. They had a big reunion, and I turned out with a booklet, and it was nice to see that I still hold some of the records at Texas Tech.
Yeah,
well, I did back then anyway.
Yeah. On Steve Williams, there were so many comments, like hundreds of comments across the various platforms, and we're not going to go through them all, clearly. Darren has said, great to hear Steve's insights about two of the best golfers I've seen in my lifetime. That's a bit of a dry bar on Ray Floyd there, isn't it?
Yeah, he didn't. Well, see, Raymond Floyd won more majors than Greg.
Yeah.
But Greg was...
He did, right?
Yeah, Greg was the world number one for 330. I mean, so you got Tiger Woods, who was the world number one for the record. God knows what it was. Yeah. No one will ever beat it. Then you had Greg at number two, 331 weeks. So he's caddied for two of the best in his time anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Well, to be fair, Darren has said in his lifetime. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he may be a little young to have seen too much of Raymond Floyd.
I'm just going to grok how many weeks was Tiger at world number one?
Ooh.
Hey, Grok, how many weeks was Tiger Woods at world number one? Because we've got Greg at 331 weeks,
which 500 or 600.
I'm going to say 600. 683 weeks as world number one.
Didn't we have a problem with Grok last time where it was wrong?
Yeah, I've upgraded.
Oh, okay.
It cost me $50 a month.
Just Grok,
it's a joke.
15 or something. Yeah.
$50 a month.
Wow.
Mick has just watched Happy Gilmore 2. Sorry, guys, I'm with Nick on this one. I've got a healthy sense of humour, but this was a pile of junk.
Right.
I like the way you think.
Cop that, Adam Sandler.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to lose sleep at night.
I don't think he's too worried.
Tom, however, thought it was a fun movie. Not as good as the first one, but it doesn't have to be. It was still great fun.
Yeah. I'll never watch it again. I'm at that level.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because I'm a bit older as well. And, but I did watch Happy Gilmore. I probably have seen it, 10 times. Caddyshack I've seen about 100 times.
We've all seen Caddyshack
100
times.
Yeah. But, it's different years.
No, I get it. I wanted to stop watching
Caddyshack?
Happy Gilmore 2, after 15 minutes, but I wasn't going to because I had to,
Yeah, okay.
I took one for the team.
Well, and in saying that, I actually went to the movies to see Caddyshack 2. And Caddyshack 2 is the only movie that I've ever walked out in the middle of.
Okay.
Like I think I walked out of the movies within 20 minutes of the show. It was so bad.
So what does that say about golf movies that try and do the second one, you see? So there's a theme here.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the IMDb app or the IMDb website?
I've seen the website, but I'm not familiar really.
So basically, it's a review. It's like a user review thing. There's also experts in it too, but it's fun to read the reviews after you've seen a movie. I only ever read the ones who rate it 10 and the ones who rate it 1.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the people who like some incredible movie and someone rates it a 1 and they're so strong about it. It's hilarious. It's very funny. Mark, you had a masterclass maybe a month ago on keeping your trail ear high. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's 6 months ago, I reckon, the trail ear.
Yeah, it was a while ago, yeah. Justin Ozzie said, this is what I do. I push my back foot big toe into the ground on the backswing, release it on the downswing. It stops me from getting stuck. Releasing the toe is like a trigger, but you've got to start the downswing first. Works for him.
Yeah, I think so.
I just had to think about that.
Releasing I've never heard the terminology before.
The back foot big toe, press it into the ground.
And release the toe.
And then release the toe.
Sounds like a monster movie.
What was that?
The attack,
release the toe.
The attack of the killer toe.
What was
release the toe.
No, that was the Croods. Release the baby. Yeah, but hey, look. The funny thing is, in this game, if it works for you, fantastic. Yeah. Just stick with it because you're going to have these little feels every now and then that come along.
That's right. Now it's funny you say that because I think so many people are different. And when you're teaching golf, you can't just have one system to create the same feel or the same motion. You've got to have quite a few, half a dozen up your sleeve to produce the same thing.
It's a sign of a great coach. My old coach, Neil Simpson, he would basically tell me the same thing 5 different ways.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I'd latch onto one going, oh, yeah, okay, I understand it now.
Like, that one makes sense.
And then I thought about the other ones. I thought, yeah, he's telling me the same thing, but I just didn't resonate. So, it's whatever works for you.
Yep.
Now, we've got a question here from Rohan, or an idea from Rohan, actually, and it's interesting. I'll be keen on your guys' view on this one. Hey, guys, just a thought. Do you think LIV should offer Wesley Bryan a wildcard spot in the roster for 2026? The Bryan Brothers, have a pretty decent following on YouTube. They do. They've got like hundreds of thousands. And with his suspension from the PGA Tour, it could be another way of introducing eyeballs from PGA to watching LIV. Anthony Kim was a feel-good selection, and his golf reflected that. Wesley could be more a promo exercise, and I reckon his golf would be similar to Kim's. Thanks, guys.
I think if they want to be taken seriously with world ranking points, then no. But if it's more, if they want to go down more that exhibition route, then sounds like a great idea. Get a lot more eyeballs on there through content creation and all. I mean, basically, you know how they're having these content creator events at some of the tournaments. Why don't you put a team of content creators in there? And if you want to get eyeballs, well, there you go.
It's not silly to get more eyeballs. I remember there was a time in Australia where Greg Norman was very close to a champion Grand Prix winner and got him a start at the Adelaide.
Nigel Mansell?
Nigel Mansell. Got Nigel Mansell a start in the South Australian Open.
Right.
Nigel played like crap. That's always the danger. Okay. Steph Curry is a great golfer. Apparently, he plays off +1 or +2 or something in America. People would be interested to see how he goes. Kelly Slater. There's another one. But you are at risk of looking like an exhibition when you do that sort of stuff, particularly when you're playing for that sort of cash out there. But, for professional golfers of note, so this is what we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, I still think LIV are missing a huge opportunity. So whatever country they go to, they have a 4-spotter or an 8-spotter just for golfers from that country. And, it's almost like a Rocky Balboa, Rocky story to where Apollo Creed will give a nobody a chance at the title, right? So you could bill it like that. And
you could almost create a third. Well, they have 13 teams now. Get rid of one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's the Ironheads or whoever, maybe have a team that gets relegated or something like that. Relegation would be good as well, by the
unreal.
way. A team relegation would be awesome because then you're going to pick people that are going to help your team, obviously, rather than just filling the gaps.
Now you're talking about some interest.
But if you had a 4-spotter and all of a sudden it becomes the Monday Q team,
yes,
and now they can't play their way on, but they can play for that 1 week and make a boatload of money, and good luck to you.
That's it.
And have that wherever they go. That'd be fascinating.
I reckon it would be sensational to do. And again, because it's a 3-round event, it starts on Friday.
Yeah.
You could have the tournament on the Tuesday, and that is, wherever you go. So let's say it's the Adelaide, right? LIV Adelaide.
Imagine 100 guys teeing it up for 4 spots.
Imagine 100 Australians teeing it up because they know last place is going to be $100,000.
That'd be.
And then if there was an 8-spotter, you'd have teams 1, 3, 5, and 7, and team 2, 4, 6, 8. You can name your own teams. And then, if you've somehow got in the 1, 2, and 3 places, you're making $1 million or something. I mean, it would add another dimension to the week.
You're saying it'd be a Cinderella story out of nowhere.
That's right.
To win the match. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And then we want 4 golfers at the end of the week going, Adrian!
We're going to go to the turn. And after, in the second part of this episode, there's a question from a Wolfpacker that's going to put you two on the spot to name names. Ooh. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why after this.
Right.
Feel uncomfortable already.
Looks good, man. Dude. Are we in slow motion, too?
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie To Me. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Betr is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Righto, welcome back. We've got a couple of curly questions coming our way, apparently, Dan.
Well, we do. We'll get to those in a second. First of all, another couple. Alex has said, something I hope you guys can follow in October and November is Adam Scott's attempt to stay in the top 100 in the 2025 FedEx Cup and keep his card with full status. Keeping his card for next year will greatly help his chances of becoming the second male golfer to play 100 consecutive majors. He's currently played 97. He is exempt for the 2026 US Masters, so that'll be his 98th. But he's not guaranteed a spot in the PGA or the US Open, and it would be a shame if he didn't get to 100.
I feel like they'd give him a spot.
Token invite?
I think so. I think he's
Well, he's that well respected, and now he's on another committee that goes to the White House. Well,
yeah.
You got to fancy his chances.
I think they'll piggyback him to a hunch.
Yeah, be good.
And after that,
He deserves it too.
on his own.
He deserves it.
He'll be on his own. Well, if he gets to a hunch, that means he'll get to 101 because you'll always get the Masters.
Well, no, the Masters is 98, right?
Masters 98, PGA. Then he needs to get in the British Open.
In the Open. That'll be the 101.
Okay, yeah. 101. Well, if he gets to 101, he'll get to 102.
Okay.
Okay, this message here from Tony. G'day, guys. Love the podcast and what you're doing. I'd like to make a suggestion, maybe a topic for discussion at some point. Having played golf all my life, in my 50s, I'm troubled by the dilution of skills required in the game, such as chipping, chip and run, etc., from around the greens. Even at the top professional level, they can't wait to get the putter out from off the green. And this is promoted by closely shaved surrounds where the course setup has a lot to answer for. I think they need to address this.
Well, look, here in Australia they do because the winter green cooch, when it's cut down, it is like a putting green. I mean, it's so easy to do.
It's tight.
That's right. But if you play at golf courses that have kikuyu grass, well, good luck putting through that stuff. And also the
Beautiful to chip
ryegrass.
off.
Yeah, beautiful to chip off and get lots of spin off that kikuyu. Ryegrass is hard to putt through as the sticky grass, but quite easy to chip off. It's funny, I always say this to people who I try and help with their chipping, is that our cooch grass, when it's cut that low, is actually the grass that makes you look foolish more than any other, because if that leading edge gets stuck in it,
absolutely,
you can actually move the ball only a couple of feet when you're trying to move it 30 feet.
Yeah, and I miss a bit of the lost art of the chip and run too. That was always a lovely little shot. And when you look like a fool, it's because you're taking a lot of loft, obviously. Now, maybe you need to chip over something or a bunker, but if you don't have to, don't be afraid to get a 7 or an 8 iron out, go into your putting stance, putting grip, and get that little bump and run, chip and run going. Because when you take your putting stance and grip, more so the grip than stance, it means you're stroking the shot rather than hitting the shot.
Yeah.
And that's a big key, I think, with the chip and run. A lot of people don't do it because they tend to whack it and they hit it too hard. But if you take your putting grip, it takes that whack out of it and you stroke it a bit more and you get really good distance control on it. So it's a good shot to practice.
It's funny you said something then. I see a lot of people chipping with their lob wedge, whether it's the 58 or the 60, and they're no good at it.
No.
And that's why they give up on the lob wedge and they end up putting from everywhere. But, Tiger Woods, he always uses his 56 from everywhere.
Right.
I've read about it. That's what he uses to chip. He opens the club face up, which gives you more bounce, and he uses these 56 to chip. So, look, if you're chipping all the time with your lob wedge and you're no good at it, maybe get that it's not called a gap wedge, just your sand on your 54 or 56 and chip with that one around the greens. Open the club face up. Like I said, if you open the club face up, you will get more bounce, and that is more room for error these days with high bounce wedges.
Okay, the message from Michael that I alluded to before the turn. G'day, Mark, Nick and Dan. I get the impression that some members at my club want to put prospective playing partners through a security clearance vetting process before they'll play with them. Now, I do understand there are some people we play better with and others who may be a distraction, and you maybe don't play well with them, and some people don't want you to play well, and they don't care if their behaviour affects you. This is one of the reasons I love golf. It makes you harness your physical and mental skills to bring out your best game and overcome these distractions. Here's the question from Michael. Nick and Mark, without naming names, were there many fellow tour pros that you wished you weren't paired with, and what was the reason? Now, I'm going to change Michael's question. I'm going to remove the without naming names part because I would like you to name names.
Oh, yeah, we name names on this show.
Yeah.
Well, you
name
do.
names.
Well, and you will. You're naming names, mate.
Here we go.
And if
I can tell you who I love playing with. I always played well whenever I play with Ernie Els or Greg Norman. I loved playing with them.
Yeah.
Just something, when you play with better players, you just rise to the occasion.
Yeah,
Now,
that's interesting.
Anyway.
That doesn't count, though.
I know.
That was
doesn't
great.
count.
I know.
That doesn't count.
Okay. Let me have a think. You go.
For those of you, just while I'm trying to work out how to word these next two.
Slow players are always a tough.
Well, that's who's on my list. But for those of you who don't know, Nick and I and Dan, we have, before we come on, if you're prepared to say something off a microphone and not on microphone, then we don't want you working here. We say stuff on this podcast.
Shall I leave now?
So the two people that I used to hate playing with here in Australia, well, they both passed away, unfortunately. They both passed away.
Oh, gosh.
But they were both fabulous people off the course.
Right.
One was Glenn Joyner.
Okay, yeah.
Recently passed away.
I never played with Glenn.
And the other one was Lindsay Stephen. One of the best characters you've ever met.
Ripping guy.
But Lindsay, the first time I played with him was in a New South Wales Open, and we were slow. Anyway, I'm over the ball, and I could see in my vision when the rules official, he was pointing at me with his finger like I was the slow one in the group. And I always remembered that.
Wow.
So every time I played with Lindsay, I felt like I had to go quick, otherwise he'd dob me in. Until, I got a little bit more experience, and then I didn't give a stuff.
Yeah. Very cool.
Then I was fine.
Okay.
But Glenn Joyner, that bugger, he knew that he could get me if he played slow. And I think he must have liked getting me.
Right.
Because he got me every time. Every time I played with Glenn, I played like crap because I knew what he was doing. And I let it get to me.
And he knew what he was doing.
And he knew what he was doing.
And
I used to hate it.
You knew that he knew what he was. Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, then later in life, he'd call me to do something, and I'd do it at the drop of a hat because he was a fabulous fella.
Yeah. Nick, you can't sit on the fence on this.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Look, slow players, there's plenty of them around. Most of them are nice guys. But there was one guy who I played with once, and typically I used to get on pretty, and I have since gotten on pretty well with him. But there was one occasion where he just rubbed me up the wrong way,
right?
And it was more a case I wanted to, not exact revenge, but I wanted to play with him again, and just so I could, anyway,
needle him somehow.
So European Tour days is. A very well decorated player.
I still haven't heard a name, Dan.
Guy by the name of Thomas Bjorn.
Thomas Bjorn?
Okay.
Ryder Cup captain.
The Dane, yes. No, and a heck of a player too. Yeah. But we were playing an event. It was somewhere, it might have been in Germany somewhere. It wasn't the BMW, but it was somewhere else. Came to the final hole. I'm playing great. I'm probably 5 under for the round. I'm probably 2 or 3 ahead of Thomas. I can't remember. Yeah. And I just block on way left on this hole where you cannot go, lost ball. I end up making quadruple bogey.
No.
And I've gone from like top 10 to 30 something. And as we've walked off outside the scorer's hut, Thomas said something to me along the lines of, shame about that quadruple bogey. As in, he moved up one shot ahead of me, and I kind of went, and I looked at Wilbur, he looked at me and he goes, did he just say that? And I said, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So, okay. Memory bank, right? Yeah. Memory bank. Later that year, or I think it might have been the following year, we get him again in the final round of the Irish Open at Ballybunion.
Yeah.
Final round, it is blowing. 40, 50 kilometres an hour. Thomas shoots 76. Good score on the day because it was blowing. I shoot 69 and just wiped the floor. And it was just a very pleasant feeling, shaking his hand at the end saying, Thomas, thanks for the game, mate.
So you had a 1 o'clock tee time the next day and he was hitting off at 8:30.
That was the final round.
Beautiful.
That was the final round. I think I finished like 5th or something like that. So it was a fun one. But look, it's Thomas is fine. There's no issue there. But every now and then a player says something and you go, okay. Yeah, I remember that one.
He knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
That's the feedback for today, guys. And if you have any feedback and you want to send it in, you can get it on the socials. You can email us. Go to the website talkbirdietome.com.au, and we'd love to have you featured on the show.
And don't forget, if you are in Queensland, well, on the Gold Coast anyway, October 8, have a look at the website Links Golf and Wellbeing at Hope Island. Our golf day is getting closer closer.
And if you're actually playing at Hope Island before then and you go into the restroom, you will see a picture of us above the urinal. So you can register there. There's a little QR code.
You've made it when your poster is above a urinal.
That's very true.
Anyway, we'll see you next time, folks.
Talk Birdie To Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our fantastic partners, Titleist is the clear #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie To Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie To Me.